So, first of all, thank you all so much for coming. It is really amazing to see so much interest from everybody here. I just wanted to tell you briefly about what I'm trying to do here, yeah, which is that let's quote the greatest scientist who ever lived. Yeah, to quote the greatest scientist who ever lived, is everybody who lived on this earth has to put back, yeah, okay, everybody who lived on this earth and consumed on this earth has to put back to the earth the equivalent of what they consume. So I have been here, I have enjoyed an amazing time in India for my first 20 or 21 years of my existence, and India supported me in so many numerous ways. The idea really is that it's time to give back to India and put back exactly as Einstein suggested. Also wanted to tell you that, basically I have, let me tell you so, a little bit about briefly about my life, and then we can take it from there. Benoit Mandelbrot famously said that my life appears to be a series of accidents and a series of random events, but when I look back, there is a pattern. So my life also has a series of random events and accidents and incidents, but when I look back, there's a pattern which is all leading to the right place. So I was born in Chennai, raised in Chennai, went to school here, then went to IIT Madras from 1979 to 1984. By the way, I was only 16 or less when I joined IIT Madras, so it was a highly impressionable age for me. At such an impressionable age, I met a lot of brilliant people, far more brilliant than me, both students and professors, and there was a lot for me to absorb from all of them. I was a electrical engineering major. At that time, there was no computer science, but I loved mathematics. My favorite subject was mathematics. There's just not enough of mathematics in India at that time, even though I'm going to talk about a little bit how great we were. But our mathematics was, we didn't have centers of excellence. We didn't have people guiding. Came to IIT and spoke about the work he was doing and the work that everybody else in America was doing. I was very attracted, and I switched to theoretical computer science, which I went to Berkeley to study and work with world famous professors at Berkeley, and I learned a lot about it. And the subject was not easy, and I had to make a number of pivots, and eventually figured out what I wanted to do, and it ended up leading to an academic job. I was a professor of computer science at the Courant Institute of Mathematics at NYU, New York University. And one day while I was there, I didn't last that long. I was only there for 2 years, not because I was kicked out, but actually by accident, I read just completely happenstance, I read a book called Liar's Poker by Michael Lewis, which talks about the amazing experience of being on the trading floor of a Wall Street firm called Salomon Brothers. It's a bestseller, one of the greatest books ever written on this topic. And I read it and I said, I want to do the same thing, use mathematics to solve the puzzle of the stock market or the bond market and things like that. So that's what I started to do. And my wife, Sri Bala, who's her family is also from Chennai, she encouraged me very strongly to do it. And she said, my main complaint was, I said, it's not the work, I love the work, but I used to wear a t-shirt and jeans to office as a professor. She said, people said you have to wear a suit. And so she said, you look good in a suit, go ahead and do it. So that encouragement really helped me. And I started working on Wall Street, but I kept my curiosity alive throughout. I can talk to you more about my career. I think there are some slides, but the curiosity is the important thing. I read a lot about mathematics. I read a lot about sciences. What I understood from what my reading is that India was the world's leader in academic thought and in intellectual pursuits. The greatest university of the ancient world was Taxila, which is in Punjab. The second greatest university, or the most famous one that you all know of, is Nalanda, which is based in Bihar. People from the world, from Greece, from Persia, from China, from all of Asia came to study here. Getting a degree from all of these universities was the greatest thing. In mathematics, India was the world's leader. in mathematics. They were, even though everybody talks of mathematics as starting elsewhere in Greece with Euclid and all of that, India was really the leader. Aryabhatta came up with the concept of the place value system. That's how we do our arithmetic today. And the greatest of them was Brahmagupta, who came up with the most amazing things, including zero, how to calculate using zero, how to use negative numbers, how to use the x in algebra, the unknown, to calculate, and he gave the whole formula. And what he did was written in the form of verse. It is called the uh, Brahmaputra, Brahmaputra Siddhanta. Brahmaputra Siddhanta. He wrote this beautiful thing that was sent to the Arabs, and the Arabs converted to a form that the Europeans could understand, and that's why it's called the Arabic numerals. But really, it's the Indian numerals, and it was called algebra because it went from algebra from Arab, but actually it was invented in India. And then it's an algorithm that was based on Al-Khwarizmi, the Arab, who translated Brahmagupta for the Europeans. Al-Khwarizmi became algorithm. So computer science actually, you can say, starts with Brahmagupta. It's amazing. So we have to build back. Indian universities today are not in the top 100 in the world rankings. Not even one, not even IIT Madras. But there's an opportunity for us to regain our glory, our past glory. That is what my gift is all about. And if you go, basically what we lack in India is not intelligence. Our people are as intelligent as anywhere in the world, but infrastructure we don't have enough investment, and most importantly, centers of excellence to compete with the world. That's the whole idea of what we're trying to do. If you go to China, see, by the way, the top universities in the world, of course, the United States, England, Australia, Canada, and China. China has so many. The investment China is making in centers of excellence is unbelievable. Now, obviously, I cannot compete with China, but it's just one small step that I'm taking for IIT. Hopefully, IIT makes that giant leap from where it is today to the top of the world ranking. That's the goal. And I'm partnering, I think, at IIT with the very best people to make it happen. And one day, I think this center, hopefully, I come back in 5 years, we hold a news conference about somebody from my center who has become a Nobel laureate or won some great award. That is the goal. So I really thank you again once more very much for coming. I just want to pause my. But it's not ROC actually, it is rock. And I'll tell you what rock is actually. First of all, finding a name is very hard, especially in America. All the names are taken. So I wanted to have some small name. My name is Arvind Raghunathan. Most Americans have trouble pronouncing such a long name. So I wanted only 3 letters, and I thought about what it should be. And we are thinking of various mythological creatures and all of that. Most of the mythological creatures are taken. But also, my family faith is Hindu. My partners, their faith is Jewish and things like that. We needed some common theme. And then we hit upon this. Roc, ROC, is actually a bird. In the Hindu religion, we call it Garuda. Garuda. In the Iranian Persian tradition, Rukh. Shah Rukh means a king bird. Shah Rukh Khan. Shah Rukh means king bird. And in the Jewish tradition also there is the same. So the idea, it was a theme. And actually Garuda is a very good bird. It actually fights evil and protects the best. So that's the name. Actually, Roc really means Garuda.